What's up, guys? Yes, I did knock this game when it was first released. I didn't think it had much potential. But now, since I bought the Switch for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, I can't stop playing this game. I know this isn't a Pokemon Go video, but I figured it'd be nice if I made a how to play Pokemon Quest video and give you guys some pro tips and tricks that I've learned while playing the game. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So first off, this is the home base. This is where you'll be. See my little cursor here? We'll be using that, so follow along. This is where all your Pokemon hang out. You get Pokemon by using this pot and basically hatching Pokemon, but you're cooking Pokemon. It sounds strange, I know, but hear me out on this. I have to go out on 2 expeditions. If I go to the bottom right-hand corner here and click that, I have to go out on 2 expeditions in order to cook this Pokemon and receive it. And real quick, yes, you can get shiny Pokemon. There's a shiny Arbok right there. I got a shiny Ekans from a pot. But the thing is that there's no real way to get a shiny Pokemon. There's not a set fire and stone way to get one. So it's basically just boils down to luck, just like Pokemon Go. Now, another thing is see these statues? These are for completing areas. They give you bonus XP for each Pokemon level, so just kind of like how you get the trainer badges in the Pokemon main series games, the higher the trainer badge, the higher the level that your Pokemon will listen to you. Well, this is the same thing, only with XP, and then you can place these. They're decorations. If we go over to the left here, you can place these, and see these are all placed I got from completing certain areas, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Another thing is, if you look on the top right here, that is your battery bar. Yes, you only get 5 expeditions. It takes 25 minutes for those to fill back up, so it is a time-based thing. But if you look over here, these, you can spend these to get your time back up. And let's go ahead and go to the shop. Now, how do you get those, or what do you spend them on, I should say? Well, you've got decorations here to help kind of increase your base. So let's click on the Mewtwo art, for example. You get a maximum battery charge of 1, so instead of having 5, I'll have 6. And you can purchase those with the Pokebucks, I guess you can call them. Now, there's Vaporeon here where the size of blue item drops. And of course, we'll go back over that once I actually cook a Pokemon. So the store offers quite a few things. You can also go and buy some more pots and whatnot for real money. This game's free to play, don't get me wrong, but you can go back and buy some more pots and some more decorations to help you in the game if you're up to that. So how do you get more of those Pokebucks? Well, if we go to the bottom left-hand corner here, we have quests. And quests, there's main quests, and this is simply by just completing things during the storyline. So these you're not going to have to worry about as far as getting those. But if you go over to the challenge, there's things you can do while you're taking down or redoing map quests, doing missions. Like right here, it's make 10 more normal type buddies. I'll get 5 balm mushrooms. If we scroll down a little bit farther here, there's where a Pokebuck is. PM tickets, that's what they're called. Level up 500 times, I get 5 PM tickets. And they offer quite a few, as you can see. There's a lot of PM tickets there that I haven't gotten yet, and there's some that are still a mystery. And look, there's a ton of PM tickets that I've already gotten. So there are a lot of opportunities to get more PM tickets to spend on things. I mostly spend them on recharging my battery right there. That's mostly what I spend them on, so I can play the game for a long period of time, and I don't have to worry about waiting around. Now, let's go into team editing real quick. So, how do you build your Pokemon and get stronger? Well, obviously by leveling up and doing actual missions, expeditions. But you also get these items. Like, that's a Mighty Stone. I got it from an expedition. They're at the end of the level, by the way. You have to beat them, and it increases attack by 374. So, I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. As you can see, there's a Fitz there. That means you can put an attack stone there. But also, there's a heart, so you can put heart stones there. Now, some of these have passives. Let me click on this gold one here. If you look on the top right-hand corner there, it says movement speed is increased by 31%, healing from straight-up knockout is increased by 1.1%, and HP upon recovery is increased by 7.7%. So, depending on what you're trying to go after, you definitely want to put and equip the best ones that you possibly have. Sometimes it is better to equip a lower one than it is a higher one. And it actually looks like I don't have any better ones to equip at the moment. But this is extremely vital for getting farther in the game. Make sure you're equipping your Pokemon with the best Power Stones that you can. Because it means everything in increasing your Pokemon stats. Because watch what happens when I take it off. That's how much attack I'm taking off my Machamp. It's 394. My Machamp is a beast. Now, if we go up here, this is the move that it knows. Rolling Kick. Attack does 156 damage, and you have to wait 5 seconds for it to come back. The user kicks as it spins to place dealing damage surrounding enemies. And then we also have these, they're different type of Power Stones, so to speak, that you can equip based off the colors of the stones that you're able to equip to the move. So this one does number of shots, which means instead of doing 2, it'll do 4. The reason why I say 2 is you'll see in a minute. It does a little spin around kick, and it had 1 on each side. Well, this one now has 4. But the thing is the move's attack gets decreased by 15%. So the reason why I gave Machamp that, so it has more coverage around a bigger area, but his attack stat's already so high that I can take the minus 15% in attack stat for that move. So I can take that, that's fine, because Machamp's attack is already so high. But that's really all there is to it. Just equipped as the best stones you possibly can. This one's called a Broad Burst Stone. It's purple. Your attack width is higher, so anything that already has a widened attack area, if you equip that, it's going to be even more, so you're going to cover more ground in your attack range. Like I said, there's not much more to this. You kind of have to play around with it and see what best works for you. I advise giving your Pokemon that has the weaker attack stats the stronger stones, and Pokemon that have the weaker HP stats normally with the strongest healing stones, Power Stones for the healing part, the HP part. So that's my little tip, that's my little advice, because a lot of Pokemon like Machamp already has a very high attack stat. So you can also recycle these as well. I have a couple that I can get rid of. It's a golden one, but it's not a very good one. So if you recycle these, you will get ingredients. And these ones here, like the red one there and the big gray one there, they are rare. And we'll go over cooking a little bit later after I get these expeditions done. So you definitely want to make sure that you delete some of those as well. How can you increase the storage? Well, it's back in the shop. It doesn't cost that many PM tickets. We'll go ahead and go back over that. I meant to do it earlier. So if you go to Box Expansions, it only costs 50 PM tickets to get extra 20 space. The Pokemon Box Expansion, you're probably not going to use too much, and I'll tell you why. You can train your Pokemon to make them stronger. So let's go ahead and edit our team. This is currently all the Pokemon I have, and you can play with this, by the way. See, my Sandshree's in the green slot. We can switch them sides. I think no matter what, Vileplume's going to stay in that area, so let's go ahead and put this back. If you look over here by this, by the attack and HP stat, that means that Vileplume is a distance attacker. But if we go click on Machamp, this means Machamp is a one-on-one like physical attacker. It will go up to the Pokemon that you need to attack and attack it up close in person. So we already went over the power charms, the power gems. What about training? How can you get your Pokemon stronger, and how can you change moves? Well, here's advice that I wish I knew starting the game, but you guys will know. So Onix is rock and ground. The best way to level up your Pokemon is to put another Pokemon in there that is also the same typing, whether it be rock or ground. I was just throwing random Pokemon in there, hoping they would level up, and it didn't work out too well. So let me give you another example. We have Kabuto here, that is water, and we have Staryu that's water. Watch how high Kabuto will go up in level. Pretty much a full level there. Not bad at all. Pokemon do evolve in this game as well. They evolve at their normal, I believe it's just their normal level stats like in the main series games. Then if we go to move learning over here, this is where you can change your moves. All you do is click on one, and then the same rules apply. You want to get the highest success rate, you want to have a Pokemon of the same typing. So let's not pick a water one. Let's pick this Charmander, for example. 29% as opposed to throwing Lapras in there being 100%. Holy cow, that's nice. So it goes to show you that you want to use Pokemon, and specifically the Pokemon that you get from cooking pots. If you get a bad Pokemon that you know you're not going to use to level up at all, but they are the same typing of a Pokemon that you want to increase their level or change a move, use those crappy Pokemon to do that. So that's a pro tip for me as well. I was using some good Pokemon at first, but I was like, man. Then I got a Pidgey, which is a normal type, and I was able to boost my Eevee up with that Pidgey, leveling it up, because Pidgey stinks. Unless you get a shiny one. So, that's a little pro tip there. Make sure you're using the same types, whether you're trying to change moves, or increase your Pokemon's level. Now, that's pretty much it as far as that goes. Power Gems, make sure you put your statues up when you completed leveled area. Yeah, Power Gems are everything to this game, honestly. It makes your Pokemon as strong as possible. So basically, clearing expeditions gives you higher and higher Power Gems, and equipping them strategically will give you the overall combat power, which is this right here. 10,060 is my overall team combat power. There is a Pokedex. I forgot to go over this. I'm starting to believe that this is the main part of the game, just like the main series. Collect them all. I'm almost done with the game. I only have a few more areas to go. But also, if you do get a shiny, all I have to do is click on that Pokemon, and there you go. There's the shiny. So, I think once I beat the first playthrough, I'm going to play through again. I'm going to try to collect all the Pokemon, because I think that still, in essence, is what you're trying to do in this game, is collect them all, and have fun while you're doing it. So, we went over everything here that there is to know. Oh, actually, I forgot one thing. In this area right here, every 22 hours, you will get a free random Pokemon spawn. Yeah, absolutely free. And also, you get a free 50 PM tickets every 22 hours as well. So in 3 hours, I'm going to get a free 50 PM tickets. So that's also another way to not spend money on the game and rack up a bunch of PM tickets. Now let's go ahead and go on an expedition, and I can kind of explain to you guys what the best ways to do that is. So let's go ahead and do an easy one. By the way, each of these go off of what combat power your team needs to be. Mine's 10,060, so I'll definitely be able to whoop this. But you do want to keep this in mind. Also, the type, it tells you the bonus types. If you have a rock type Pokemon that does rock type moves, you're going to deal a lot more bonus. It's going to give you a bonus in that area. So, for example, let's see if I can find one where I have a bonus. Ah, see, bonus type. That adds 1,453 overall team power to my team, helping me beat these expeditions. But I still can't beat that one quite yet. So let's go ahead and go on one that's not too hard to do. Here we go. Now I'm not going to show you everything. Just going to kind of give you guys the basics on how to fight. So if you look on the bottom here, I like to... You can use a touchscreen to touch these, but I like to use my wide range moves first. Like my Petal Dance there with Vileplume. And then I'll use my close attack. Wide range attacks, they seem to do more damage, personally. Well, they cover more damage. They are able to hit more Pokemon in a widespread area, and then you go in there and then you attack. So Pokemon that have ranged attacks are actually really nice. Now, don't get me wrong, my Machamp's a beast, but the fact that I can deal damage to multiple Pokemon at once, instead of sometimes only one Pokemon at one time, is definitely a lot better in my opinion. As you can see, my Machamp's attack, you could see 3 to 4 little rings there when he attacks. It was only 2 until I attached that Power Gem that allows the move to have an extra wingspan, so to speak. But it did increase the attack by 15%. So, let's go ahead and beat this boss. There is a boss at the end of every single level that you have to beat. It's almost like a raid boss. I like the idea of bosses, though. They're usually not very easy, but if you're patient enough, you'll be able to take them down. Now here's a pro tip. When you're in between going, see this button on the right here? You can run away. Especially if you know an attack's about to come, you can run away. Another thing you can do is do that while your Pokemon are healing. Your Pokemon heal every like 3 seconds maybe, every 4 seconds. So if you're low on health, you can run away and try to regain some health. The best thing that I do is when I'm running in between areas is I run away a lot so I can build that health up before I finally get to that final boss. That's a pro tip right there. So if you need a little bit more health, run away as you're running to the next location in the expedition to try to heal as much as possible before you get there. And if one of your Pokemon dies, it's not the end of the world. They will respawn. It's just you have to wait on the timing. And see, my Sandshrew just died right there, so I have to wait that long for it to come back. Now, it does not come back at full health, so you definitely want to be careful. This game has a lot of strategy to it. When to use moves, when to run. It's definitely not just button mashing. You have to choose which attacks at which time. Know when to run, when not to. Stuff like that. And there was also a auto fight button that you can do as well. And my Sandshrew is evolving. This is pretty cool for the video. Just kind of showcase how Pokemon evolve. Look at that attack stat, 1918. The stats do evolve as well. Sweet. Awesome. I have a Sandslash. That is just awesome. Another thing to mention here, you're probably wondering, what are these right here? If you get a, they call it a bingo. If you get 3 in a row, you get an extra stat boost for that. So I got 1 and 2. I got 2 extra stat boosts for getting a bingo. Same thing applies over here. I've got 1 bingo, 1 bingo. You actually get a stat boost for getting bingos. Now, it's beyond your control on how these blocks are going to go up, or where they're going to be located at. It's beyond your control, or which ones are going to be next. But every time you level up your Pokemon, this goes up a little bit, which will unlock that block eventually once you get a higher level. But that pretty much covers it. Only thing I have left to do is show you guys the cooking. And that's probably one of the most, if not the most important thing in the entire game. So I'll be right back once I finish this next expedition. So I thought I'd go ahead and show you guys this boss fight. It's actually pretty cool. There are status effects in this game. Like, look, my Vileplume and my Machamp are both frozen. You can see that little passive on the top up there, on the Pokemon. There is paralysis, confusion. There's all status types. Poison, fire. It's pretty in-depth for the most part. Hey, look, you can see me on the screen there. I wonder if it would help if I did this. Nope. Now, see, my Pokemon are attacking while I'm not moving, too, but they're just doing their basic attacks. They're not doing any of their specials. Let's see what happens if I click Auto here. Let's see if my Pokemon can win this. Just on their own. Let's see what happens. I think they can because they're strong enough, but we'll have to see. It's actually a good way if your Pokemon are super powerful and you're just going back to a weaker area to train. You could go to the restroom, put this on auto, and you'll probably beat the expedition by the time you get back. So there's another pro tip too. You don't always have to watch the game. If you put it on auto, you're probably going to win the fight if you're extremely powerful. And we're about to get it here. Oh, Machamp's gone. Get him! That's not what we want. Oh, Sandslash is frozen. And there we go. Dugong is down. By the way, if you notice my moves, they do stab. Same type attack bonus. That does exist in this game. The attacks will do more damage for same type attack bonus, aka stab. Alright, so, ooh, that's a pretty good sturdy stone right there. We finished the expedition. Let's go ahead and go to the camp. So, our pot is done cooking. We'll click on it. And this is a red stew, large size. Favorite food of reddish Pokemon. But if I get a red Pokemon or not, remains to be seen. Okay, so Spearow does have some red on it. I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. It's not as shiny, though. Good grief. It is added to the Pokédex. Alright, so here's cooking. You have these ingredients. The top one's being a pretty normal one, the bottom one's being extremely rare. The rainbow is extremely rare, and these are legendary ones. So right now we have the regular cooking pot. It takes 3 ingredients. Once you get farther and progress, you'll have the bronze cooking pot, which means it increases the level of the Pokemon that come from cooking the pot. And then you have silver, and I don't have gold yet. But silver, again, increases the level even more. Pro tip. Do not cook with silver or gold because the Pokemon's levels that come out are huge. And let me tell you why you probably don't want to do that. Let's say you get a Charmander and it's level 92. It's going to take you forever to level that Charmander up to level 93 to get Charmeleon, and then level that 93 Charmeleon to that level 94 for Charizard. And when I mean forever to level it up from expeditions, I literally mean forever, unless you get more fire Pokemon to help power up that Pokemon. But the chances of that happening aren't slim, but it's going to take a lot of ingredients and a lot of time. So I personally say use the beginner's one or use the bronze one. Because bronze still gives Pokemon a pretty good level, but you can still level them up from expeditions as well. That's my inclination. Unless you know what Pokemon you're going to get, go with a silver. But anyways, let me explain the ingredients. So you're going to get some basic Pokemon here. That's a soft and small ingredient. This here is the what do they call it? The recipe. Jeez. This is the recipe, and I've unlocked quite a few. And you can try to repeat the recipe. It says ingredients, a whole lot of hard things and a few minerals. Well, some hard things are these apricorns right there. It says hard and small ingredients. Fossil, hard and small ingredients. And then a few minerals. Let's see, hard and precious ingredients, soft precious ingredients, soft and precious. So minerals, I guess, would be just more fossil probably, or apricorn. Can't really remember how I cooked that one. Then we got Veggie, a whole lot of plants and a few soft things. Grass type Pokemon. And then Mud Pie, a few minerals and a lot of soft things. These are the soft things here they'll say on there. But if you're trying to get the rarest Pokemon you can, use nothing but these rare ones at the bottom. Now the thing is in order to get the best possible chance of the best rarity, you want all 5. If you can only get 4, but you have 1 Rainbow Matter, you'll also get the best rarity. Because Rainbow Matter just takes care of an item that you don't have in there. A piece of cooking material. So like if you have 4 of these, it will replace it with a 5th one. Because Rainbow Matter, it substitutes for that. If you do 4 and then a small piece, it's not going to be as rare. So let me go ahead and showcase what I mean there. I need to go to the 3-tier one. Okay, so we'll do 1, 2. By the way, all blue is a good idea. I highly suggest you try this. 2 and 3. So when I cook this, it's going to have 6 on the top here. 6 is the highest amount, which means this is going to give me one of the rarest Pokemon in the game to get, one of the stronger ones. So for example, Dratini, Kabuto, Ammonite, this is going to give me a rare one. And it's blue, so it should be a water type Pokemon or some bluish type Pokemon of some kind. The ingredients are kind of set in stone. When you use the smaller ingredients, you're not going to get as good as Pokemon, but you'll get Pokemon of that type or that color, so to speak. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is try to cook with all of the big ingredients as you possibly can. You can speed this up, by the way, using tickets, but I advise you don't do that. Try to cook with all the big ingredients that you can. In the beginning of the game, cook with some small ones, get some Pokemon, build your team up, but these are definitely worth it. And this Pokemon that comes out is going to be a lower level, but I'm going to be able to power it up by just doing expeditions that are such a higher level than what it's used to. Because what I can do is I can equip it, go to an expedition here, and go to... Look how much I've cleared already. Like, these are the lower expeditions. But if I go over here with that Pokemon equipped that I got and do a 9,000 one, I'm going to increase this level by 4 or 5 and getting closer for it to evolve. So that's kind of what I mean by using a smaller pot, because you're going to be able to increase the level because it's at a lower level by doing higher level expeditions and completing them. So that's it, guys. That's pretty much everything about this game. There's not much to it. The cooking is complex, but I made it easy for you guys. Try to cook with as many big materials as you possibly can. As far as small materials go, I want you guys to experiment, because you're not going to get the greatest Pokemon in the game. Also, you're going to increase your chances of getting a shiny Pokemon, because cooking with small ingredients only give you like 2 or 3 expeditions as opposed to 6. So I'm going to have to do 3 expeditions, pay to get that recharged with my PM tickets, and then do 3 more just to see this Pokemon. But it's going to be well worth it. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, if it helped you out, please smash that like button. Comment down below if you guys have played this game anymore, if I said anything that you didn't know about or would helped you out. Please let me know in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. I mainly do Pokemon Go videos, but this one I felt like was important because Pokemon Quest is a lot of fun, and the Pokemon hype for Nintendo Switch has been amazing. I'm signing off. I'll see you guys in the next Pokemon Go video.